Hello, this is me redesigning Monster High characters I dislike the design of. I just want to say that the designs are drastically different than the original, the ones I made. This is my artistic liberty, and because I can. If you have a problem with that, just scroll off the video. Don't complain in the comments, it's annoying as hell. First up is Pearl and Perry, the Hydra monster. For this, I photobashed two photos together to get a good reference. I used, to my knowledge, actual conjoined twins, but I could be proven otherwise. Feel free to leave that in the comments. For this specifically, I wanted both of them to have individual personalities, because in the Monster High movie they're introduced in, they are very much only conjoined twins. That is mainly their own personality trait, along with being very ditzy.
You've got to get your head out of the clouds and back in the water.
Well, I could quite easily if your head wasn't stuck to mine.
Your head is bigger
It's
than
the same
mine.
size head as yours. We're twins.
So for this, I wanted them to have very distinct personalities. Now, a lot of people found a lot of problems with this, specifically the fact that I quote-unquote used natural skin tones for this, and a lot of Monster High characters don't have natural skin tones. The thing is, I used a gray that is on the brown side that was color matched from the fish that I am basing them off of for this redesign. This fish is specifically found in the Great Barrier Reef, where the movie that they're introduced in, is based on. And when I mean two distinct personalities, I don't mean two opposite personalities that just look like a mirror of each other. I did end up making Perry more emo to fit Monster High, because they're all very alternative, but I kept Pearl pretty mermaidy because I thought that would fit her personality more, because she seems very down to earth compared to her sister, if we're going off of the show. Personally, if I was to do a complete overhaul, I would not make one good and one evil, quote unquote, which is basically what the movie portrays, because that leads into negative stereotypes that already exist, that there's one evil twin. Going more into the actual character design of this, I based them on the white spotted goby, which is found in the Great Barrier Reef. I wanted them to be a very colorful fish. I didn't look too much into everything about this fish. I was like, oh, this is a cool looking fish. I was kind of indecisive about the hair colors, but then I decided to go off of the darker color and then a lighter color for the other twin, like the original design has. The reason I decided to go with the darker skin tone for their character is because a large amount of conjoined twins are born in either Southwest Asia or Africa. Now, with the biggest part, that I took away the fact that they are hydras. The reason why is because the original hydras are more snake in nature, and from what I can tell, they were not really sea creatures in mythology. Also, because there was really nothing hydra about their character other than the fact that they were conjoined twins, and many hydras in mythology had many heads, and having two was not as common. And so I thought a better way to represent these characters was to just make it so they were just like mermaid characters that just so happen to be conjoined twins. A lot of media portrays conjoined twins as some sort of mythical creature or something like an oddity that you need to gawk at. And I didn't really like this, because they're just people. So I just made them mermaids. To fill in the extra space, because I have nothing else to talk about with them, is that I deleted a handful of comments talking about this because it genuinely started to piss me off. So if you're gonna come and complain about having your comment deleted, just leave, please. This isn't the place to rant. I am just one teenager that just wants to make some crappy redesigns, okay? Next up is Avia Trotter, half centaur, half harpy. I got a decent amount of hate on this redesign, which, to be fair, I did change a lot about her, which is because I just really disliked her character design. I also really disliked her personality and character overall, because other than being half centaur, half harpy, her only quote unquote freaky flaw is that she interrupts a lot.
Trotter, Harpy Centaur.
I interrupt a lot.
I tried to keep the wings in the back like her original design, but I just didn't like it because if you think of harpy from like mythology and stuff, they're not really like the wings aren't like in their back like an angel or something. They're usually on their arm and stuff because this is like a bird person. I actually based her harpy part off of the Kenatapute, which I absolutely butchered, which is a Maori creature from mythology. Because I'm Maori, and I wanted to add some of my own culture to this design because why the hell not? Her original design honestly looks just like a Pegasus. Like, it's not really obvious that she's half harpy, half centaur. If you just go off the fact that she looks like a Pegasus, she would just fit in Monster High already. And a lot of the movie that she comes from, Freaky Fusion, it's presented as she's an outcast for being a hybrid creature. So I wanted it to look more unnatural, even to the monster world. Another thing is that when there is a cross-species animal, think mule or liger, there's usually something wrong with them. Usually they're infertile or they have some sort of stuff with their skeletal issues, because the fact that even if they are similar species in nature, they're still two different species. I would expect a character like this to have some sort of connective tissue issue, so arthritis or EDS. Another thing I hated about her character in the Freaky Fusion movie is that she can fly,
Let's give it a try.
which anatomically is impossible, even if you do magic bullshit, and it just pissed me off. So, for my redesign, she would not be able to fly, float, or whatever. I gave her a lot of gold accessories because I felt like it fit more of a harpy character because, a lot of birds like shiny metal objects. I try to keep her character design more golden. That was just a personal preference because I felt like it fit the design I was going for more. Another thing I wanted to make clear about her design is that her fusion is not exactly perfect. Like in the original character design, you see that it fits. Like there's these accents, these accessories, and stuff that it looks like they all seamlessly tie together. But with things like I've said before, ligers, they don't really look like a perfect mix of both. There is inconsistencies. There is things that are not aesthetically pleasing. There's things in the wrong place, I guess. I decided to go with a Kia bird because they're one of my favorite birds, and because it adds more color to the character design, because her original design is very colorful, and I wanted to stay more close to it because I had gone very far off the rails with it. I think being a photographer would fit her better, because her original thing, there is not much to her other than being a hybrid. There's not that much, like, things outside of it, like passions or interests. It's just the fact she's a hybrid. So, like I said, I would make her a photographer. Her original design is very blue, so I decided to give her a blue shirt to tie back to that. Some things I don't think people realize that I kept the same is that I kept her nails the same length and like sharp talon like, and she also has her eyeliner. It looks like feathers, so I decided to just give her feathers around her eyes. The last is Nathan Rott, half unicorn, half zombie. As what I did the two other ones, I start with photo bashing. One thing with Nathan Rott is that he's clearly a disabled character.
My zombie side makes me, what would I call it? Oh, no. Ow. I'm clumsy.
So I gave him a crutch as a mobility aid because obviously falling over all the time is not good for you. I was really indecisive about this one. I actually had made a previous drawing of him, but I completely scratched it and I didn't save any of the process of it. I probably should have, but it sucked. One other thing about this character is I gave him a facial difference or deformity because his face is obviously supposed to mimic that, but while staying in the quote unquote monster aesthetic of the Monster High universe. So instead, I just made him disabled. As a part-time crutch user, I love it when I see representation of other people using mobility aids. And no, you don't just need mobility aids for pain. Anyone can use it for whatever reason, whether it be to save energy, whether it is to keep you upright, whether it's because you are just very shaky on your legs. You can use it. If I see anyone in the comments arguing about disabilities, I will personally come over to your house and whack you over the head with a cast iron pan. Obviously, that's a joke. Don't hold it against me. For this design, I made him a person of color. Obviously, there's no real way to differentiate if he actually is a person of color or not, and obviously I kept his unnatural skin tone because he is a zombie, but this is just what I did personally. No hate to anyone that draws him as a basic white boy. I'm gonna start speeding through this now because there's not that much I can talk about his design. I did make him more seen because I didn't really like his original design because I just thought it was like really basic 2000s boy. Do 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 do. I had a ton of fun drawing the design on the shirt of the rib cage. Obviously, it's not actually anatomically correct rib cage, but you know. If you can believe it, that is the end of the video. I will maybe be making a part 2. I don't know yet.